Alrighty, so we have a movie coming to theaters for Star Wars, and with Star Wars content, there will always be Star Wars sets. Unless you're the goated Star Wars show in Andor and you only get fucking 2 sets. Alright, what are we doing, Lego? Alright, but I have decided to rank all the sets coming out. They're officially on the LEGO website, up for pre-order / coming soon. There is 6 of them. I'm ranking them worst to best, and I will be giving my rating for the 6 of them. If you're curious, big LEGO guy, big Star Wars guy. And I think in the thumbnail I'm going to put it, dude, we are in the wait for sale era, okay? None of these you should ever buy full price. I'm telling you that right now. And if you don't know, Amazon got good deals. Lego, May the 4th coming up during the movie. We got some good deals coming, most likely. So that's what I'm going to be holding out for. I will be holding the line strong, and I won't be buying any of these at full price. However, let's get into the rankings. This will probably be a faster one because it's only 6. But at number 6, aka the worst of the 6 in my personal opinion for the sets, ATRT Attack. Dude, this set is ass. This set is so unbelievably bad. It is not only, okay, Canadian over here, hand up. I'm Canadian. Yeah, I know. So, Americans, brace yourself for the numbers you're about to see. If you saw these numbers on shelves, you would probably be... Ooh, there'd be a lot of Minecraft fell from a high place situations, you know, because these prices would be so goddamn high. 297 pieces. You get a Mando fig, which is basically the same that we've been getting for all of the Mando sets. So if you've ever bought a Mandalorian set, you've probably got this one. You get the new Grogu. I guess that's cool. You get the new Grogu. I don't really care at all, to be honest. The baby figure, I think, is, like, slightly worse. But, like, I don't really think it's that much worse than this model. It's cool that it's finally getting custom molded, but if this is the end of the Mandalorian timeline, and we only get 6 sets that come with the or not even 6 sets that come with this Grogu, you're literally only using this mold for, like, 3 sets. Like, what are we doing? I don't know, it's just weird to do it so late into the life cycle of Star Wars, so I guess you get this Grogu. It's I guess. You get Mando, shit, just because he comes in fucking everything. I think it's unique that he has boots, I'm pretty sure. But the leg printing, arm printing, like, we've all seen this before. I think I have 2 of these, like, close to this one. Doesn't really matter. If you get one Din Djarin, you don't really need the other ones, in my personal opinion. And then you get this, Trooper. I don't think he's an AT-RT Trooper. I forget what he's called. It's a reused helmet mold. And I think it's just a whitewashed design of the Beach Trooper, or whatever it's called. But I think it's cool. You get one of them, and do you see this fucking price tag? This is what, like 40 USD? Dude, 40 USD, you get one good fig. And then you get a oversized ATRT that looks like shite. Like, we can be honest, this looks like shite. Barring the stickers, oh my god, it's a sticker, it's not even printed. Barring the sticker for the Imperial symbol, I think this looks like shite. And then the tower is a little cool. You get the rotation, you get the play feature of having it, where is it? It's gotta be an image. Yeah, you get like the open, cool. 60 fucking schmeckles? Am I gonna have to buy a loan for this? It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't like it. I think this set is shite. We're going to move on. In at number 5, we have the buildable Grogu. Now, the only reason why this isn't the worst one, in my opinion, is because the AT-RT Attack is bad for so many fucking reasons. By the way, giving AT-RT Attack, let's give it a 2 out of 10. Like, why the fuck would you ever buy this set? Even at 50% off, $30 Canadian. What is that USD? Like 20-ish? Like 23? I think that conversion right's there. Even then, man, like you're buying it I guess for the piece count. Cuz the figs are kind of knit as fuck. Like dude, no waist cape, no fucking puffed collar like some of the solo sets. It's just shit. It's shit. It's so bad. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. This buildable Grogu, it's only up here basically because buildable figures are sort of desired for, I think, a large portion of casual Lego fans. Like, I think if you're not, like, a Lego fan, I guess, you're probably more inclined to buy, like, the busts and shit like that because they're buildable models that are fun to build, and maybe you're just not, like, a minifig collector or whatever, and you just want like the character. So I can see a lot more reasoning into buying this buildable Grogu that comes with this metal plate, which we've seen in the Mandalorian and Grogu trailers, the movie. 1,200 pieces, I think, is more pieces than the last one they made. Look at that price, man. That's insane. I think it's a 50 USD or 40 USD price increase from the last buildable Grogu. Yeah, USD. This is just, it's not like it's dog shit in terms of the actual build. The price really makes this like stinky because I'm not paying like Canadian, right? Am I buying this or the MTT? Am I buying this or a fucking Star Destroyer? Am I buying this or what's another 200 turbo tank kind of shit? But like, there's so many things you can buy over this buildable Grogu. It looks pretty tiny. It might be the smallest buildable Grogu we've gotten, maybe except for the one we got with the pram. I think the first buildable Grogu is probably the best one and biggest one. This one is just like, it's got a few accessories, cool. It's got the cookie from the trailer, cool, I guess. I like the claws. Yeah, it comes with the figure that has the plate instead of just the cloth. So I guess it matches more with the buildable character. I still think it's shite. I'm gonna give this like a 3 out of 10. Barely better than the ATRT, only because if you don't have them, aka me, I don't have a single buildable Grogu. And I'm not gonna buy this one. I wouldn't buy this one. Like, I'm not buying either of these sets. Like, ever. I want this figure. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather just buy a fucking solo set or some other shit that came with a figure that looks identical to this. I'm not paying $60 for one fig. I'm not doing that. And similar with this, I don't give a fuck about this figure. And the buildable, I'm gonna give it, yeah, a 3 out of 10. Like, this is horrible. This is really, really bad. The price makes it even worse. And if this was maybe $100, 1,200 pieces, I don't think it's that bad. But it's just like, I just don't give a fuck about Grogu at all. Like, maybe that's a hot take, but I think it might be one of the most overplayed toys slash characters that they've ever done in Star Wars is Grogu. Like, he really is just a 50-year-old baby. Like, it's weird, man. It's weird. I really don't like it. And I really don't like this Grogu build. In terms of the value you get from it. Maybe there's a wild alt build you could do, because I see some fucking like ship building pieces, like wing building pieces for the body. Maybe there's like a brown ship you could make with it that has a little bit of green, like maybe a slaver ship or something from the Clone Wars. But I don't see a point in ever buying this buildable Grogu. Yeah, 3 out of 10, horrible, not worth it, not gonna buy it. We move on to the fourth place of the Mandalorian wave, which is for me the buildable Mandalorian and Grogu allies and villains. Now, I've only recently started getting some of the brickheads. I got the Revenge of the Sith one not too long ago. That's sitting on my shelf right above my bed to remind me of the General Grievous, because I think the buildable General Grievous. Here, I'll actually grab it. I think this is sick. I think this is fucking amazing. Oh my god, just like, I'm not like, I'm a big fig guy. The buildable characters I think are cool. Like, I think that's a great way to display Star Wars characters in the buildable forms like these. So I think it's sick. Actually, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I have Revenge of the Sith, and then I have like the Codys on the corners. Can't really see them, and then I have the Tusken Raider. I think they're great. I think they're great value. $50, you get 5 characters. That's effectively $10 per build. The Grogu is probably not really worth it. You get the Babu Frick, aka Anzelian. I think it's an Anzelian. I don't think it's Babu Frick, actually, now that I think about it. But you get the Anzelian. I think that's cool. You get this Trooper, which I think is pretty cool. You get Mando, which is pretty cool. And you get the lady that's given Mando missions. But you get a nice little Republic thing. And most of these, I guarantee these are all printed. I don't think I see a sticker. No, I don't think I see a sticker. So no stickers, that's a plus. Because the printed pieces you can do a lot with. So I think this is pretty cool. It's got 5 characters. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I think it's about average. Like, no fig is kind of like a tough one for me, tough sell. If this goes on sale and is maybe cheaper, like a 15-20% off, I might cop it just because of the Mandalorian hype. Like, this is something I can see a lot of people buying for just getting into the Mandalorian spirit as a Lego fan, or like at the Star Wars spirit as a Lego fan going into the movies. So I think these are fine. I think they're great displays, and especially if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of space, or someone who doesn't have shelving or anything like that. I myself have a decent amount of shelving. I don't have a crazy amount. I think these are cool to display at like the corners of shelves on your desk. You can like fuck around with it while you're studying, or downtime from work. I think these are cool. I like the buildable stuff. We're gonna move on. Number 3, aka bronze medal on what I rank these Mandalorian and Grogu movie wave sets, and that is 5 out of 10. And that is the Anzalian Starship. Now, the price is rough. $100, 701 pieces. Kind of tough. Not really any real figs. You do get the 2 Anzelians, and you get the Grogu with the metal piece. I think that's the cheapest you can get Grogu with the metal piece. So that's kind of odd. $100. Now compared to the smart bricks, obviously this isn't too bad, but I think the ship is cool. Now, I've seen some people kind of shit on the ship and be like it's a bland, boring rectangle. I get it. I think it's cool. The landing gear looks sweet. The piloting like cockpit area looks great. I think the engines looking like the Tantive is cool. I think having like the parts for the buildable droid in here is pretty cool. Although I am really sick of them adding a bunch of colored droid parts and not having a different colored droid head. Like a B1 head. I really hope that they start including that more, like maybe a green one or like just a different colored one. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, the Anzalian Starship I think is pretty, it's interesting, it's unique, a lot like the Pirate Snub Fighter. This is kind of wherever you have the Pirate Snub Fighter, which if you don't know is a set that released a little bit ago. It came with can't remember the fucking pilot's name. But it came with, what's his name? I normally know it. Oh fuck, I can't remember. But it comes with the alien pirate guy, and then it comes with a pilot that is a copy and paste from the pirate captain. Like they copied the face, but it's a whole different like gear set. I think they're really cool figs. I think they're cool pirate figs that you can use for mocks and other things. And I really like the Pirate Snub Fighter. I bought 2 of them back in the day. I think I still have one in a box. I think they're pretty cool. I like it. I give this like a 6 out of 10, maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. It's unique. It's interesting. This could be shown for like a Coruscant, or if you do like a public mock build area, you could definitely have one of these there. It being a little smaller and shorter and doesn't fit figs kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, like, you could even have this with your midi scale collection. Like, this is a very versatile set, in my opinion. I will probably be picking this up if it goes on a steep sale. I do think it's cool looking, I really appreciate it. I'm interested to see if you can fit the figs, and there's The Anzelian's a little bit better, but I'm interested to see if you can fit the fig sitting down in it. I kind of don't think you can, but I'm also sure there's probably ways to mod it so that the roof fits a little bit better, so you can maybe fit other figs there. Yeah, maybe you can't fit them sitting down because that's probably the size of it. But I do think it's pretty cool. It's unique. It's interesting. I might be picking it up depending if it goes on a deep sale. But yeah, this is my bronze medal. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's not. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Just because you probably won't be able to fit figs in it, like normal regular figs. You know, I don't think you'll be missing anything not picking this up either. Like if you don't want to pick this up, and you're like, I don't think there's gonna be time 10 years into the future where you're like, damn man, fuck, I really wish I got that Anzelian starship. You know, I don't think anyone's ever going to say that. You know, where I think you can say, damn, man, I wish I would have got that Republic gunship. I would have got that fucking Onyx Cinder or something like that. I think those exist. I don't think this will be missed if you don't pick it up. But I do think it's cool. We move on to silver medal, which might surprise a few. Number 2, the set of the Mandalorian wave is the New Republic X-Wing. Now, this leaves number 1 pretty obvious, but we'll talk about this one first. I think this X-Wing is like an 8.5 out of 10, maybe even a 9 out of 10. I think this X-Wing is really cool. The problem, I just don't give a fuck about X-Wings. I really don't like X-Wings. Maybe that's a me thing. Now, I am more of a prequel guy, so an ARC 170, a V-19 Torrent, a Y-Wing bomber, like those are my type of ships when I think of Star Wars, a gunship. The X-Wing is definitely Star Wars. I just don't care for them like that much, you know? Maybe it's just like X-Wing fatigue from all the times I see them in the set. I do have the Rebuild the Galaxy set, so I have an X-Wing. The blue is nice. The Republic, the New Republic symbol is nice. The figs, you get 2 figs and a droid. Yeah. $90, kind of steep. You know, when you look at the ARC 170, I think these are priced the same. ARC 170, you get 1 extra pilot, and you get a downsized version. This is probably like a better model for an X-Wing than the ARC 170 is for an ARC 170. But I kind of think this is like, the X-Wing itself is fantastic. I'm just not an X-Wing guy. So for me, I'm going to have to wait for like a decent discount, 25% or more, and maybe I'll cop it because the pilots are nice and the X-Wing is like cool for an X-Wing. I really like the way they did this angled nose. And the New Republic symbols and everything on it are pretty cool. I just don't really see why you would get this if you actually already have an X-Wing, you know? Like the New Republic aspect is cool. Maybe with the E-Wing from the E-Wing and Shin Hati Starfighter combo. Like you compare it with that. There's got to be another like blue New Republic ship. There's got to be like a Y-Wing out there that's blue, but yeah, like you really only get it because it's blue. And at that point, you might as well just color swap the X-Wing parts, you know? Add a little bit of blue yourself. I don't know, I really don't see... Like, it's cool, and it's a great set. Definitely going to be the best X-Wing on shelves, no doubt about that. Landing gear, sweet. Engines look nice. This back part, I think that's where you hide the weapons. I think that's great. I'm just not an X-Wing guy. So, if you are, like, super into the... collecting of X-Wings or collecting of starships for like a starship battle. Maybe you get the fish wire and you hook them up for display. I think that's cool. Maybe you like displaying all your X-Wings side by side or all the different variants like the red, blue, and maybe like a white one. But I personally am not just an X-Wing guy. I'm going to have to wait for a steep sale. I will say when you look at price per piece, it's kind of brutal. Wow. That's actually, wow. 558, that's kind of low. I kind of get it though. A lot of it's probably because the wings are pretty thick and these pieces are pretty big. So yeah, it's a lot of big pieces here. You know, there's probably like a boat piece under this, I think. You know, big piece there. Yeah, so I think it's good value. I think if you are going to buy any set and you're fairly neutral on everything, this is probably the best bang for your buck. Do I see this one as being like a regret down the road? Probably not, because at the end of the day, it is just a blue X-Wing with cool Republic symbols on it, you know? But we'll have to see, because the New Republic era really hasn't fully set in with Star Wars. It's not a whole lot of content with the New Republic era. So this will be interesting, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna move on to my number one spot. I will give this like a 7 out of 10. This X-Wing, just because I'm not an X-Wing guy. But as a model, it's like a 9 out of 10. It's near perfect. Like I don't think there's anything you can really do to touch up the X-Wing. It's just like if they made a perfect Yoda starfighter, like cool, great. I'm not buying one. You know what I mean? Like I just don't care that enough. I don't care about a Yoda starfighter that much to like push me over the edge if it was a perfect model. You know, I already have one. I think they're kind of mid. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand with the X-Wing. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Comes with two pilots. I think one of them is one of the main women characters. So you know, that's there. We're going to move on to my number one spot, and that is the Razor Crest. Now, I am aware that the old model is bigger and at a better price point. 189 Canadian, so 190 Canadian, basically 200 schmeckles. Would I prefer having the Star Destroyer over this? Yes. Would I prefer having the MTT over this? Yes. Would I prefer having any other set at that same price point? Probably not. You know? Like, there's a lot of sets, like Republic or Coruscant Guard Gunship, or this. I'm probably taking this. You know? What was the other one? AT-AT or ATT is a little bit different because the ATT in my like I love ATTs. Those are one of my favorite land vehicles in Star Wars. But yeah, this Razor Crest I think looks nice. I'm not a Razor Crest guy. I don't own a Razor Crest. I don't give a single fuck about the UCS Razor Crest. In my opinion, it's one of the most like that's like on the lowest priority list for getting. Now I get it, it's a great model and everything, but it's similar with the X-Wing. Like I don't it's cool that it's accurate, but it doesn't move the bar for me because I just don't care about that ship. Similar thing with me with the Razor Crest. Don't give a fuck about the Razor Crest. But I think this looks okay. The yellow painting is a nice contrast to just a pure gray ship. The Commando Stormtrooper is lame, but it's there. The Zeb Fig is great, and I think this is a great way to get a Zeb. The price point's brutal, but I think it's great that we're getting a New Republic Zeb. The main female lead, I think this is the only set she comes in, so I think that's great with her like scoundrel outfit, I guess you could say. Like officer outfit. I think that's a ranking I see. Yeah, that's a ranking I see. You know, Mandalorian fig is what it is. You get the Grogu with the shield. It is what it is. But overall, you get two pretty good figs, three mid as fuck figs. The build looks great. I really don't have a problem with any of the build. I can understand, like, man, that interior looks nice. You know, being able to just flip everything down like that looks nice. I get it, the old model's, like, better. If this was the old model, I would rank it higher than this one. Alright? If this was the old model. But this is the new model, and these 6 sets, I will be honest, are not that great. You know, 7 out of 10 for this. I'm giving, like, the Razor Crest here, like, a 7.5. I don't think any of these sets are, like, you're gonna kick yourself in the ass for not getting. You know? Like, is the Razor Crest gonna be cool, and is there ever gonna be another one? Maybe not. But I would argue that the OG one I've been seeing on Facebook Marketplace is a better model than this one. And I've been tempted to get it a few times at a cheaper price point than this, which I might do at the end of the day. But I do think this set's worth it purely for the Zeb, and the Zeb does a lot of carrying. You remove Zeb and you put like another Stormtrooper here, this probably... It's probably here, like, it's probably just right below the Republic X-Wing, to be honest. Like, it does carry it with that fig, because the Republic X-Wing, like, you get Republic pilots, but, I mean, you know, other than the helmets, there's not really anything else that spectacular. And this droid looks like a 1-to-1 from the ARC 170. I get it, it's a different one. I'm pretty sure it's named differently, but it literally looks like the same one. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be missing out anything not getting any of these sets, I'll be honest. But if you want my personal opinion, I think the Razor Crest is probably the best one to get. Now, this will go on sale. I think the Razor Crest specifically has the highest likelihood to go on sale. Similar to the Turbo Tank, where the Turbo Tank that just came out, the only good figs are really the Galactic Marines. Like Kiadi Mundi's good, I guess. But that set went on sale pretty fucking fast. Same with the MTT, and the MTT, in my opinion, is a better set than this. But I do think it's good for what it is, you know? You get good figs in some aspects, and you get a good build in some aspects. It's downsized, but it's still good. That's kind of where I'm at with this set. Yeah, I don't really have an attachment to any of these sets. I personally think Enzelian Starship's just a little bit higher than most for me personally, just because it's a little bit more unique and like different. I like different ships personally. If you gave me the option between 5 X-Wings or 3 different ships, I'm taking 3 different ships every day of the week. If you gave me the option between like this Razor Crest and like a fucking, maybe not Anzelian Starship, who's like a random character who has like a random cool ship, the Slaver ship or whatever it is, a Sandcrawler. I know that's like, there's not really a ship, so that's like apples to oranges, but this, I believe, is the first wave of the Mandalorian sets. I think it's pretty weak, I'll be honest, but I'm excited for this Razor Crest. I think it'll go on sale very, very quick when it's on shelves. I think the Republic X-Wing Starfighter will probably take some time, but it'll go on a decent sale. I think they're both worth picking up. I think the Anzelian Starship, you're not missing out much if you don't pick it up, but I think it's still cool. I think this buildable characters, if you're into that, if you don't have a lot of space, I think it's a great pickup. The buildable Grogu is a waste of time, money, and effort going to the store to pick it up. And I think this AT-RT attack should be a crime against humanity. And whoever greenlit this price should be fired from the company. That's my personal opinion with all these. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching. Let me know your opinions down below. What you have is your number one set, I guess. But yeah, if you made it to the end, thank you for watching. And as always, hope you have a good day.